Welcome to WoodBarter. This introduction video is not intended to teach you how to use the entire site, but just merely to point you in the right direction. The first place to start is under the site rules page. Now this gives you a few do's and don'ts, but more importantly, it teaches you how to use the site. If you're a slow reader, it'll take you about 10 minutes to read it, but you just need to do it once, because once you're done, you'll know pretty much everything there is to know about the site. After you've read the rules, you are required to make an introduction, and the reason we do this is because WoodBarter is a little bit different than any other woodworking site you've been on. We have to get to know each other before we can welcome you into the community and trust you as far as trades and buying and selling. We've had a few bad apples come through, but not very many in the woodworking community. And one of the reasons for this is because we do require that you kind of get to know us and we get to know you. So make your introduction. You don't have to go into great detail. Just give us a little bit about yourself. And after you've done that, about the next thing you're going to want to know how to do is use the private message system. In our software, which is Zenforo, it's not called a private message, it's called a conversation. And you can find the conversation feature by hovering over the envelope icon in the top right corner of the page. And you'll see this pop-up comes up and gives you two options. Show all. If you click that, it shows all the conversations you've had. This account is my Woody account. It's a testing account that I use. It only shows the exact same privileges that you guys have. And if you hover over it again, you can see the feature that says Start New Conversation. And you can also start a conversation that way. Let's click it and start one with the other admin. And if you notice, I typed in NYW, which was the first three letters of his username. When you do that, a pop-up will come down showing all the members that have various usernames that start with NYW. He's the only one. So let's click that, and that puts his username up in the participants. If it was going to be with more than one participant, you could type his username in now. Let's type in Ripjack13, who's a moderator. Let's go ahead and send them a conversation. Now again, this is the same thing as a private message. No one can see it but the people whose names I've typed up here. Now they'll get this, and I didn't warn them, so they'll probably write back and say, "What's up, Doc?" And so we click Start Conversation, and there it is. It started. Over here you can see that the participants are Scott, who is New York Woodturner, and Mark, Ripjack13. He's our class clown. He changes that frequently. And when they respond, it'll just be in a message that appears below the one that you just typed. It'll just, boom, it'll be there. And up here on the envelope icon, when they do respond, it'll show a number 1, showing that you have one new response to your conversation. And if you've been signed out for a day or two and you come back and see a number 3 there, that means you've had 3 conversations or private messages, either replied to by someone you started it with, or someone has started one with you. Now another way to start a conversation is, let's say that you're in a forum, in this case the Wood for Trade forum, and you click on a thread, and you see that Jeff here has this fur burl that he's wanting to trade others with. And let's say you look at it and you decide, yeah, I want to trade with him. I want to start a conversation with him. The first thing you want to do is reply in the thread itself. And even if all you say is, scroll all the way down, even if all you say is sending PM, and then click post reply. I'm not going to do it because this is a real thread. It's not a test thread. You want to do that before you send a PM so you can get in line. You remember where you read in the rules about the rights of first refusal. This gets you in line. Then you could go back up here, scroll all the way back up, and click his username. This area right here is called the post bit. I don't know why, that's just what it's called in form software. But we click his username and this pop-up appears. It's called a member card. And you can see that on the member card it has the start conversation feature. And when you click it in a member card, the username is already filled in. Then you would just type in the title, make it relevant to your conversation, type in Fur Burl because that's what he titled his thread, and then type your message here. And again, I'm not going to send this because this is a real thread and I don't want to send him something and he's wondering what's going on. So those are the various ways you can start a conversation with someone. There is one other way. Let's say you end up on a member's profile page. This is the profile page. This is what it looks like. And a lot of new members mistakenly believe that if they write something on a member's profile page that it's the same as a private message, or in our case it's called a conversation. But it's not. Everyone can see that. What you need to do is look at these tabs up here and move over to the information tab. And you can scroll down and you can start a conversation with a member that way. You wouldn't really use that route unless you were already on their profile page. The easiest way is to click the member's name, and even in the members online area down here it still works. If I click Big Rowdy, Rodney's member card comes up and I can start a conversation with him that way. So that's the various ways to start conversations.